How's it going, everybody? Martin with Bellevore Auto Spa. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to be doing a ceramic coating on a Kia EV6 GT, which is right behind me. I didn't get a shot of it before pulling it inside, but it's white. It's like a pearl white, metallic, pretty nice vehicle. So I looked at the paint. The paint condition is actually surprisingly really good. It is a brand new car. I've noticed that, I guess just with Kias in general, when they're delivered, they don't scratch them all up anymore, which is good. So I'm going to be polishing to prep it. I already washed it outside, just regular wash process. I'm going to be using my new rotary polisher to polish it. I've got a Rupe's rotary waffle pad. They're fine waffle pad on here. I'm going to use DIY Details Gold Standard Polish, and then we're going to coat it with Ryan West Industries 9H. This is a 5-year ceramic coating. This stuff is seriously robust. It'll turn the applicator like rock hard. Love this stuff. And by the way, if you're interested, you can get 30% off Ryan West Industries, 10% off DIY Detail, and this waffle pad. If you can find it on Detailed Image, you can get 10% off that. I've got all my discounts linked down below. Also, gotta throw this in as well. G Fuel. I'll be drinking G Fuel because I love G Fuel, my favorite energy drink. Not as bad for you as Monster, Red Bull, anything like that. Sugar-free, very low calories. What flavor? I forget what flavor I have in this, but I love this stuff. G Fuel. I've got a discount code as well. Normally it's 20% off. Right now, at the time of this recording, it is 30% off. So if you want to pick up some G Fuel, I'll go ahead and do that. Now, just to go over some things, if you are a novice to polishing, if you're new to polishing, I don't recommend using a rotary polisher. Rotary polishers are more for people that have some experience or under the guidance of somebody who can show you how to use it, or if you've done a lot of research on it and done some practice. Otherwise, I would suggest using a dual action polisher. This is a 15mm orbit, or a forced rotation polisher. A little bit harder to use, gear driven. It's a dual action gear driven polisher. A little bit harder to use and it doesn't stall, but dual action polishers are definitely more forgiving. But I'm going to be using a rotary because I plan to fly through the polishing stage of this car because, again, the paint's not very bad. I'm going to show you guys basically, I'm going to be doing a demo on the hood of all the steps so you can see how everything's done there. But yeah, everything should hopefully go smoothly. We'll get this done. I'm doing the wheels and the glass as well. I'll probably go over that with you all as well. So let's go ahead and get this started. Now, I am going to just be using one pad because I have a Lake Country System 4000 pad washer. So after every pass or panel, I just go dip it in the pad washer and you know, run it through there, and then you have a nice clean pad in about 30 seconds so you can keep going. So let's get over to the spot on the hood we're going to do. Normally I would do a test spot, but because this paint is already in such good condition, I'm not going to experiment with any test spots. Generally, if the paint's already really good, all you got to do is finishing polish and a finishing pad. If the paint was worse and I had to do a whole one-step, yeah, I'd do some test spots. And just so you guys know, if the difference between an enhancement and a one-step, enhancement, you're just trying to get gloss. One-step, you're trying to remove as many defects as you can with good gloss, all in one step. If a car needs a one-step, I'll do it. If it doesn't, I just do an enhancement. Obviously, you can't one-step a paint that's already good. So let's get over there and take a look at this, and we'll see if we can see any difference. Now, again, this is white paint, but I'll do a tape line. We'll see if we can see any difference in polishing it. Alright, so here we are at the hood of the car, and I apologize, I'm standing in front of the light, but we're going to go ahead and get this pad set up with the polish. So there we go. All I need is one spray. And I'm going to do this section right here, and we're going to see how it comes out. Now normally you want to do your rotary on a lower speed. Now, for example, this rotary's lowest speed is 380 RPM. My corded rotary's lowest speed is 400 RPM. So I'm going to bump this up to about 2.5, or excuse me, my rotary's lowest speed is 800. So I'm going to do 2.5. That should get me to about 750 RPM. Get this section over here. I'm just going to do this little area right here. We're going to see how it comes out. Now my reason for using the rotary here, a couple of reasons. One, the rotary is not as loud. Two, doesn't vibrate as much, so it's easier on my hands. Three, believe it or not, you get better gloss out of using a rotary than you do a dual action. And four, this car is very curvy, which is going to make my dual action stall a lot, which is kind of a pain, so rotaries don't stall, which is nice. So let me go grab a towel, wipe this off, and then we'll go in for a close look. Alright, so we got our super soft Rag Company Wolfpack towels. Now, let me see if I can see a tape line. Yeah, I cannot see a tape line. Like I said, this paint's already in really good condition, so all I'm going to have to do is make a quick pass around the car, and we'll move on to panel prep and polish. So we'll do that in a time-lapse video. Again, I'm just going to record myself doing the hood, so I can get this done. I don't want to be having to press stop, record, charge the camera, move it all around the place. So I'm just going to record this area for you, and we'll move on from step to step to step. Now that's the hood polished. Again, you see how simple it is, just doing an enhancement. When you don't have a lot of defects to remove, just make a pass over and you're good to go. Wipe it off. Now the polishing residue is not 100% removed. Use panel prep to do that, and I do that after I'm done getting around the whole vehicle. So I'm going to do that. Then we'll move into the panel prep step. Now, while I'm doing this, if I find anything interesting that I want to record and share, I definitely will. Otherwise, the next step is going to be panel prep, and then we'll get into coating. We'll talk about the windshield. That's what we're going to coat as well, and doing the wheels down here. We're just doing the faces of the wheels, nothing fancy, so let's get the rest of this taken care of. So now we're at the step where we got to wipe off the polish. Now, I've already done a dry wipe, and in my opinion, you go around and do a dry wipe, unless you got really soft paint. That gets most of the polish off. You can do that as you go, or you can do that after you're done with the car. I kind of change how I like to do it. Sometimes I do it as I go, sometimes when I'm finished with the car. But you're still going to have some residue left on there. So what I like to use, now you can use the Wolfpack towels. Those are nice. I prefer 500 GSM or more plush towels. This is Korean microfiber. You got the Rag Company sells these, Eagle Edgeless 500. You can get these from Projet too on Amazon. They have a really killer deal on these. I'll go ahead and post that. And then you need a panel prep spray. In this case, I'm going to be using Carpo Eraser. Now, if you buy the Ryan West Industries kit, it comes with a bottle of prep spray. I just like Eraser. Eraser smells really good. It's what I've been using for years, so I like to stick with Eraser. But the Ryan West Industries prep spray works fine. So this is pretty straightforward. You know, think of it as you're cleaning your house. You just saturate the surface, then you wipe it off. And this gets any of the residue from the polish that's still on the surface. This is basically a water and isopropyl alcohol mix with some extra additives for some lubrication and fragrance. Some people like to make their own, and you can definitely do that. I just find that using a dedicated product like Eraser works better than making your own mixes. But everyone's going to have their opinion on that. But it's that simple. You basically do that to the whole car. Now I did polish the glass as well, so I'm going to have to do that on the glass. The reason I polished the glass is to get it nice and clean before I apply anything to it. Because if you'll notice, there's a lot of residue that gets on glass from road grime and stuff, and it's harder to clean off glass. So if you polish the glass, that basically is abrasively scrubbing the glass for you. Gets it nice and clean. So I'm going to get the rest of this taken care of, and then we'll get into the ceramic coating. Alright, so now we're going to start the ceramic coating process. So some things you're going to need is your ceramic coating, obviously. I'm using Ryan West Industries 9H. 30% off with my code down in the description. I'm using just a typical, I think this is a CarPro coating block, but you can use any of them with an auto fiber saver sheet. It's a tongue twister. My leveling and buffing towels, I like to color code them. You don't have to, just you need 2 towels, one for leveling, one for buffing. If you get this coating, it does come with one of each towel. I suggest getting more. Ryan West Industries does sell these. They recommend these ones specifically that they sell because they find that they work best with their coatings. And at first I didn't believe it. I'm like, oh, I'll use whatever towel I want. I tried a different towel, and it was a lot harder to level this specific coating. This is a 420 GSM towel, I believe. They found the right, GSM and nap for the towel. So use their towels or something similar to these. Don't use a different type of towel, you're going to have a hard time. And so, yeah, that's what you're going to need. And also, when I went around and used Eraser to wipe everything off, I used my inspection light to check and make sure there's no residue. I looked in all the tight spots and everything. You're going to want to do that and make sure. Inspection lights are nice to have for multiple reasons. So we're going to get over to the panel, and I'm going to show you guys basically how this coating applies. We're going to do this section here. Now, these coatings do come with a little dropper in the tip of them. However, I took that off because I prefer to use these little pipettes. These little plastic pipettes are pretty cheap. So, stick it in here, get some coating out. You don't need that much. You grab an applicator. I'm just going to get some on the applicator. Normally, to get it primed, I'm going to do 2 little lines here. That puts enough on there to get you started. And then anytime you top up your applicator, you just do 1 little line. So this coating in particular, the 9H guys, if you're using it outside, you're basically going to have to wipe this on and immediately wipe it off. I'm using it indoors. I got the air conditioning on. I've got about a 30 to 60 second window in a climate controlled environment. If you're not in a climate controlled environment, it's warm or if it's humid, you're going to have to work fast because this stuff hardens quick. So let me show you how to apply it. Now some people like to do the hashtag method or the crosshatch, going back and forth. I personally don't find the need for it, but if you want to do it that way, you can. Just as long as you get in on there evenly, because when you use your leveling towel, you're going to spread it out even more. So. Now this particular coating is a bit grabby, but it is incredibly durable. I would definitely suggest using a topper spray with this. It's slicker, that way you get durability and slickness. But slickness isn't everything really. I prefer durability over slickness. So it's on there. It took me about 30 seconds to apply that. So this stuff really, you don't have to wait a long time for it to flash, which is nice. But you just lightly go over it and you can feel the slickness from the coating compared to bare paint. This is the leveling towel. Basically what this is doing is wiping up all the transfer solution from the ceramic coating. And then you're going to get your buffing towel. And you're going to buff it to make sure that you don't get any high spots. This is going to remove all the excess coating that's not bonded to the paint. High spots aren't as big of an issue for lighter colored cars, white cars, but if you have dark colored black car and you leave a high spot, it's going to look like a streak. And once that coating cures, that ain't coming off unless you compound it off. So just keep that in mind. Alright, simple as that. Now, I like to save my towels for future use. Some people just throw theirs away. So what I do, I fill up a bucket with water and some degreaser or all-purpose cleaner. And as soon as I'm done with the towels, I throw them in there. I don't let the towels sit out for very long unless I'm using them. Otherwise, I just throw them in there. That won't let the coating cure in the towel. It'll break it down, and then when you go to wash it, you can reuse them, but I only ever reuse them for coating. And just, here's a good example of how much this coating hardens. So here is the Ryan West Industries 9H, or a 9H on it. Hear that? Solid. That stuff is super thin. This is the 7H coating. It's not as hard. This is C-Quartz UK 3.0. This is hardened, but you can tell that versus the 9H. You hear the difference? C-Quartz UK is a hard coating, but this 9H is really something else. So I'll show you the two side by side. This is C-Quartz, this is 9H. Just can't really tell from visual, but see how wobbly this is versus how rigid, more rigid this is. It's hard to tell over camera, but if you ever use it in person, you'll know what I'm talking about. But now I'm just going to time lapse me doing the hood. Then I'm going to do the whole car. Once that's done, we're going to do the front window, the windshield glass. We're going to use a different brand of coating for that, a slick coating, because you want it to be slick for your wipers to glide across. And then we're going to do the wheels. So let's get this done. Alright, so real quick what I did, I pulled it outside so we can check for high spots. I can see down on this panel down here, it's a minor amount. I'm doing this because I just finished applying the coating, and it's better to get ahead of high spots. And you can have all the lighting in the world, you're not going to see anything like the sun's going to show. So I got some down here. Thankfully this is a white car, so it's pretty forgiving. Sorry, it's a neighbor's kid screaming. He's like 3 years old. Yeah, I just got to do a little bit better with these panels down here, but since the coating's not fully cured yet, you can get it off. The windows, just polish that off. Sometimes that happens, but goodness, that little boy. So it's always black accents, so I'll just go over these again, and we'll pull it back inside, and we'll get the glass done. I just wanted to, sounds like that kid's being murdered, Jesus Christ. I just wanted to make sure that the the majority of the car was good before the coating fully cured. So get that taken care of, pull it back inside, and get the rest done. While there's okay, I lost my train of thought because the kid was screaming. I wanted to get it outside while the sun was still out so I could see the high spots. That's what it was, so I didn't have to wait till tomorrow. So it's about 6 o'clock right now. So the sun's starting to go down. So yeah. Alright, so now we need to ceramic coat the glass. Now I'm using a different coating because the paint coating, the fact that it's not very slick will actually affect people using their wipers. I don't want to do that. So they do have specific glass coatings, G-Technic G1, CarPro Fly-By Forte, Fly-By 30. I'm going to be using Seacort's SIC. This is a paint coating, but I have found it works really great on glass. This is a super slick coating, but because it's so slick, it's not as durable as the Ryan West 9H or even Seacort's UK. But I find it's very good on glass. So first thing, we already polished the glass. We already used eraser to wipe it off. Put your wipers into service mode. If you have the wipers that when you lift them up, they hit the cowl, so you don't want to damage that. To do that, all you do is turn your car on into accessory mode. That's either the first part where you turn the key, not all the way, or if you have to push to start, just don't put your foot on the brake. Keep your foot off the brake. Press the button that puts it into accessory mode, and then hold the wiper switch into mist for 3 seconds. When it's in accessory mode, you won't get the spray, and they'll come up and they'll stay up. That way you can do what you need to do. That's called service mode. That's so you can change your wiper blades if you have a car where you can't flip these up when they're down because they're underneath the hood and they'll hit the hood. So I'm going to clean the windshield one more time just to be absolutely sure that it's clean. This time I'm just going to spray eraser directly on the towel. So I'm going to do the overspray. And I can actually kill 2 birds with 1 stone with this. I can coat the plastic cowl down here at the same time that I'm coating the glass. So it works out. We go around to the other side, clean that. Because this glass has been polished, it's going to be very grabby because there's nothing on the glass to make it slick. Once you coat your glass, use a ceramic spray, something like that, it gets very slick after that, obviously. So I'm going to take my applicator. Now because these are plastic lined, I was able to flip it inside out. There's no coating at all leak through to this side. I'm going to take Seacort's SIC. Now this, because it has silicon carbide, you do need to shake it up a little bit to mix that SIC into there. Open it up. I need to get a pipette for this one. There we go. Alright. So, same as the last one. Stick your pipette in there. Suck some up. Oh yeah, SIC is more of a yellow color. It's not going to change the color of anything when you apply it though, so don't worry about that. You're not going to need much because we're just doing the glass, so. Now, SIC does need to sit for a few minutes before you wipe it off, so you can work large areas. here and this cowl. Now with this, what you're going to see when it's ready to wipe off, it's going to look kind of hazy and white. It's kind of ready to wipe off up here in the corner already. See if I can get a look at it with the light on it. And it depends. I know I said a few minutes. It really depends on the temperature. If it's colder out, this does flash slowly. If it's warmer, this does flash relatively quick. This one is, it really varies. But it's just about ready to wipe off. I can see it's starting to get a little hazy from this angle. So you can use whatever towels you want with this. Instantly, I can feel how slick that is. And that's really going to make the rain just fly off the window. Also make it easy to clean off bug guts, etc., etc. And for a leveling towel, I actually like these are CarPro suede towels. I find they work good with CarPro coatings. The final wipe, they really just get everything. They don't streak. They're just really nice. I like them a lot. I can feel how slick the glass is already. Alright, well, let's get to the other side. Alright, next up is the wheels. Gloss black wheels are a pain to get nice and clean unless you've been maintaining them. I washed them when I washed the car, but obviously as they dry they're not completely clean, so I'm going to use DIY Detail Rinseless Wash. This is pretty strong surfactant based rinseless wash. I'm going to basically spray the wheel down, just wipe it up, clean it up. And then we'll prep it with eraser and ceramic coat it. We're going to be just doing the face of the wheels. That's what the job entails, not the inner barrels. So obviously these would have to come off if you really wanted to intricately get them, but we're still going to make them clean and look nice. So let's go ahead and get that done. Alright, so now we're going to move on to coating the wheels after I cleaned and prepped them with eraser. So I'm actually going to be using Seaquartz UK 3.0 for these. Now I do have Seaquartz Deluxe, which is a trim and wheel coating, but it's a brand new bottle. I don't want to open it. This bottle's already been opened. And most paint coatings will work fine on wheels. CarPro has said that Seaquartz UK works fine on wheels. The Rhine West Industry 9H is also rated for wheels, but I used the last of that coating this car. So I'm going to use this. Either one will work. In the environment that wheels live in, with all the brake dust and heat, coatings last about a year on them, so it doesn't matter how long the rating on the coating says. It's usually for paint. On wheels, I always tell people about a year. It just depends on how much you drive the car. So after you clean them, prep them with a eraser, you can see I put a glove on because instead of using those other cloths, I'm going to use one of these just standard terry cloths to coat the wheel, but you don't want to get it all over your fingers, obviously. So coating the wheels is the same process as coating the paint, but C-Quartz UK is an easier coating to use. And guys, if you want C-Quartz UK, C-Quartz SIC, any CarPro products, you can get them from CarPro US. I've got a 5% off discount code in the description below. Or you can get them from Detailed Image for 10% off. I will say though, if you order from CarPro US, you're getting the most recent batch. CarPro US is the importer. Companies like Amazon and Detailed Image, they just get huge batches and they sit in the warehouse. So sometimes you might get an old batch from them, so just keep that in mind. So to coat this wheel, I'm going to do a section and I'll do the rest of it in a time lapse for you guys. But obviously, open the bottle. Now you don't need pipettes for this. This bottle's been closed for so long, it's being a pain to open. Alright, so I got the bottle open. Now I just like to fold the towel in fourths and just get just a little bit of coating on here. And now I've got this cured coating that's sticking to it from the bottle. Let's get a little bit of coating on there. A little bit more. Should be good. And C-Quartz is just a wipe on, C-Quartz UK, excuse me, is just a wipe on, wipe off coating. So it's super simple. Wipe it on. Grab a coating towel. Wipe it off. You don't have to be super intricate with this. Just make sure you get it on, get it off. If you want to layer it, you can. And there you go, simple as that. So I'm going to time lapse get the rest of this done, and then we'll move on. Alright, one last thing for this detail before I call it a night is to dress the tires. Then I'm packing it up and going inside, and I'll be back out tomorrow morning to do any finishing touches. So, the one and only CarPro Dark Side. I love this dressing. It is more than a dressing. They call it a tire sealant, I believe. Yeah, tire and rubber sealant. This stuff will last through rainstorms, snow, you name it. CarPro says it'll last up to 3 months. I tell people this will last at least a month or more. It really just depends on how much you're driving, but it'll keep your tires looking nice and black. So here's some clean undressed tires, and just easily. And this is a hex grip applicator, by the way. This is an applicator that I prefer to use when applying this stuff. And the applicator is pretty dry, so I'm gonna get some more on there. There we go. Some nice coverage on that tire. Stuff is just soaking it up, so. Alright, so I got a nice coat of that on there. This takes about 3 hours to fully cure, so I'll get it applied to the rest of the tires and we'll check it out again tomorrow morning. Alright, so we're back the next day, and I just quickly cleaned the floor mats off with DIY's Interior Clean and Protect. They're a little dirty. I vacuumed them off and cleaned them up with this. I like this stuff because it's not slick or slippery, so like you can see, you can hear the I guess traction, you could call it, that it's getting in there. But now let's clean it up. Now let's take a look around the car. So I mean, it came out beautifully. I did clean up some high spots that we got. The wheels came out really good with the coating that's on the wheels. Everything, it looks amazing. Front wheels look great. The paint looks great. Of course, I come outside now, it's windy. But yeah, I think he's gonna be pretty pleased. So I'm gonna deliver the car and see what he thinks. But yeah, overall, this was a fun one to do. It's got 21-inch wheels. Come to find out, 21, not 18, not 19, not 20, 21. But yeah, I gotta put the license plate back on. But yeah, came out pretty good. So let's head over to the table. All right, guys. So again, these are all the products we used. So we got the SPTA cordless polishers available on Amazon. I'll link those below. G Fuel, of course. DIY detail. So what I used from them, I used ceramic gloss to clean off the door jambs, gold standard polish, and Interior Clean and Protect. You can get 10% off of these. Check the description below. Then from CarPro, we use Seaquartz UK 3.0 on the wheels, Seaquartz SIC on the windshield. We used Eraser as a panel prep. You get 5 or 10% off of these, depending on which site you want to order from. And then Ryan West Industries, the 9H ceramic coating. And then I topped it with the Atomic ceramic detailer. This is a pretty good topper that I really like. Pretty good product. 30% off of these products with my discount code in the description. This is going to be your best deal right here. And they've got all these other products. I just like to mix and match when I do details. I don't ever stick to any one brand, but that's all I got for you guys. If you enjoyed the content, let me know in the comments below. Give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. I will see you all in the next video. Keep them clean. Have a good one.